Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video, which is going to be a good old will I buy it, where I'm talking you through these new and upcoming makeup releases, letting you know my thoughts, what I'm excited for, what I'm skipping on, what gives me the excitement of a 6-week-old banana that's just been hanging out, rejected by society in my fruit bowl. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so kicking off, we have a foundation from Carolina Herrera. Her first foundation, is that a lie or truth? Two truths, one lie? I don't know, you tell me. This is the Nude Couture Triple Moisture Serum Foundation in 16 shades. Hello 1995. This is a 24-hour intense hydration and radiance instant smoothing effect foundation that is waterproof and transfer proof, and it's a pricey little number, $70. So the shade range is about as inclusive as you would expect given the number of shades, 16. You know that isn't going to be a great shade range just off the bat. Unless that is like a sheer skin tint, we're going to have some problems, and we do. We've got 2 arms of light shades and one that you could even reference as being in the ballpark of being a deep shade. This is an immediately no. This brand just continues to not interest me in the slightest. I have never tried anything from them. I've never been interested enough or seen anything good enough about any of the products to want to give them a try, and this is no different. I mean, even those light shades that they have the most of, the undertones all look very similar to me. There doesn't seem to be a good shade there for me, and this is just not good enough in 2025. I have zero interest in trying this. Next up, let's talk about these Victoria Beckham Beauty Colour Wash Blush Stains. We have 3 shades of these. Now you guys really surprised me with these. I saw the images of this. I got an email from the brand saying, you know, the usual like just launched email to their customers, and I had zero interest in them. I clicked on the link, I had a little look, I posted a link, an affiliate link for you guys to see for yourselves what you thought about it, and this was an incredibly popular item. Let me tell you, I was shocked because I went and looked at the information and I thought, these are not exciting to me. There's only 3 shades. They are very like expected shades that we all have a million of. There's like a rose, a pink and a peach. We have seen those before. They're also that sort of watercolor inspired like tint. That's just not the sort of blush for me. I don't love a liquid blush. This looks like it's going to be something that's going to be a little trickier to use than, you know, a cream stick or a powder. So immediately I'm not sure about these for myself. And then the finish seems quite uninteresting. You know that I'm a glowy blush kind of girl. These are described as having a soaked in finish. What do you mean, a soaked in finish? That sounds bad. I don't know what that is intended to mean, but to me, that really isn't conjuring up positive vibes for me. So these were really not speaking to me, but they were clearly speaking to you because a lot of you purchased these through my link. They were very, very popular. So I guess it's not you, it's me situation. There's nothing about these that interests me, not the shades, not the finish, not the type of formula, not the packaging, there's nothing about this that tickles my pickle, but apparently that's an unpopular opinion. Let me know what you think about these. These were a very easy pass for me, but clearly I'm alone in my scathing thoughts about these, and you guys are much more excited for them. So let me know why. What am I missing? Okay, tell me. Next up, we've got this Bomb Stacks gloss from Fenty Beauty. I saw this and I thought my daughter would love this. This is very pretty. The colours, it's very unicorny, although she informed me the other day that she now hates unicorns. So that's a sad time. But I feel like this will be an exception to the unicorn slander that's currently going on in my house. By the way, this wasn't a passing comment. It was when we were deciding on bedding because she used to have unicorn bedding, okay? And now she's too cool for it. So let's just say this, the colour description I'm going to read it out to you and you'll see for why. A shimmering iridescent periwinkle. Let's say that again. Shimmering iridescent periwinkle. I could say that all day, to be honest, but do I want this gloss? No, no I don't. This looks so gritty. The images of this on the model, I just know that's a gritty little number. It just does not look smooth and luscious. The colour is strange. I think it's beautiful to look at in the component, and I think if I gave this to my daughter, it would be her favourite thing. But on a 41-year-old lady, this is not for me, I fear. Moving on. Next up, Lancome are shortly to be joining the cream blush stick bombardment of our cheeks that has been happening recently. Don't know if you've noticed. We have this little sneaky peeky which came from Angel Naked on Instagram. Thank you so much for sharing this. Now this packaging doesn't excite me. It looks light and flimsy to me. It could be very, very heavy in luxe in person. It doesn't look it though. And yeah, this colour is obviously not appealing to me. This is apparently part of Lancome's holiday collection. And I'm excited at the thought that we might get some other shades of this because I think Lancome can do a blush really nicely. This shade isn't doing it for me and I feel like the packaging is not going to be luxe enough. I have also seen a palette floating about that looks much more exciting from the Lancome holiday collection. I can't post it yet, but that is much more up my street than these blush sticks, which I'm just not 100% sure they're going to be like worth me spending my money on because we have so many of them. I feel like for holiday, you've got to do a bit more than this. That's my thoughts. Think about what comes out of holiday. Charlotte Tilbury collections, Lisa Eldridge collections. We'll get the Hourglass palettes, although for some reason we'll get them like any minute now instead of actually during holiday. Those are the things that really excite me during holiday. Over the top, crazy packaging, very luxurious, sparkles coming out of your ears, stars, twinkles, incredibly stunning packaging, components and products. I don't know that this is going to stand out in the league of like holiday releases. I think that's why I'm a little underwhelmed by this. I think if this was launching like now or in a month's time, it might get a bit more attention. I think it's going to drown in the seedy ocean of holiday releases. It's not going to stand out enough. Next up, we have some new powders coming from Dior, which are intriguing. Typically, I'm very unintrigued by powders. I don't really use much powder, as you guys know, only under my eyes really, and then only a small amount. As far as actually setting my whole face, never happens, never. But these sound intriguing enough that I might have to try them. So these are the Forever Nude Radiant Filter and Forever Nude Matte Filter. So the more beigey shade of powder here is a matte filter. So it's like a filter powder. It's going to give you a matte veil on the skin. And then the white shade is a radiant filter. It's got the word radiant in it. Immediately, my ears have pricked up, like we're on a hack and we're headed for home. One for the equestrians out there. So I would like to try this. I fear a lot of powders claim to be like radiant luminous powders, but when you are a radiant luminous glowy foundation person, I feel like most of these radiant powders actually still tone down the glow of foundation, which is the very last thing I'm trying to do at any point. So I don't know if it will still be for me, but I'm intrigued enough, my interest is piqued enough that I would like to try this. Yes, please. Okay, and I'll report back to the class. Next up, these Hourglass Curator eyeshadow palettes. You remember at the beginning when I described being about as excited as I would be about a 6-week-old banana in my fruit bowl. That's how I feel about these, okay? There's nothing about these that even drew me in for 2.5 seconds. For the time it would take Ferrari to do, you know, a pit stop, that's more time then I was interested in these. The only thing that potentially caught my eye was the packaging. It does look really, really gorgeous, but immediately you guys were telling me it's very light and cheap feeling, and in person it's not as luxurious and beautiful as it looks. So now I'm at like 0.3 seconds. These colour stories, I'm asleep, I'm sleeping, I'm having a nap. And it's 11 minutes past 10, so it's all downhill from here. Nothing about these other than the packaging, which I now know to be, you know, a false economy, smoke and mirrors, interests me about these in the slightest. They're just boring. They're just very, very boring, in the words of Craig Revel Horwood. Doesn't tickle my pickle, doesn't excite me. I think Hourglass's previous eyeshadow launch was a complete flop as well. So I don't trust them with eyeshadow, apart from the scattered lights. Just give us those, more of them, more shades. Stop doing whatever this is. These ridiculously overinflated priced blah eyeshadows, and give us like a palette of scattered lights, or just more shades of them. Those were fine, okay? I don't know what we're doing, but we've gone off track, and I don't think these are going to like convince us that Hourglass can do eyeshadow, is what I'm saying, because I don't think they can. You know, you had one job, and that was giving us the pick your own, make your own palettes, and you fluffed it. You only gave it to one country for 5 minutes. What? Do that properly with all of the shades that you've ever made, and you never have to do another release, Hourglass, okay? You can just sit back and have a nice cup of tea, and we'll all keep you in business for the rest of your life. So what's this? No one asked for these. Next up, we're going to get some new shades of Rhode blush stick. I only have one of these, and I forget who it was who told me I had to buy. Was it the Lipstick Lesbians? I think so, who said these are the best cream blushes on the market. So I went to try one. I got the shade Freckle, and I love her. Being a cream blush stick hater, they made it past like my very rigorous testing process, and I actually put it in my top drawer. Who is she? So that was a shocker, but I wanted more, and there just were no other shades that I wanted. These are everything I want a cream blush to be. They're glowy, gorgeous, juicy, and easy to use with the perfect amount of pigment, very easy to blend. I love these, but when I went back for more, having, you know, dipped a cheeky toe in the pool, in the paddling pool of blush sticks, there were no other shades I was excited about. So I am now very excited about these two new shades, because both of them look right up my street. We have Sunsoak, a spiced orange, I'll take 10, and Tan Line, a pinky tan. Now it does say pink, it says pinky to be precise, but it does have the word pink with a Y on the end. So immediately I think, no, pink, no thank you. But this looks really gorgeous. It looks a bit more neutral than a typical pink. So I am excited. I will take 10 of each. Well, I'll take one of each in reality, because I only have, I was going to say I only have one cheek, but in fact I have two, thank goodness. So yes, that's all she wrote. Next up, more blushes. I hope no one's playing a drinking game where they drink every time someone launches a blush, because you'll be dead. Well, probably not, because they do space them out a little, so it'd be like one drink a week, so you'd probably be fine. But if you lined them all up in one go, definitely dead. But now Too Faced are at it, and we have the Cloud Crush Whipped Lip and Cheek. It's like they tried to put all my least favourite words in one sentence, and they did a great job at that. I feel like I'm being unnecessarily harsh. Maybe I'm stressed with the move coming up, but I don't like anything about these. I don't like the packaging. I think Too Faced typically it's just, I'm much too old for that brand, okay? I'm old and boring, and this packaging is too young and fun to appeal to me. I don't mind the cap, but the bottom, it's too much going on there. I've got a headache. Then we have the word whipped. I don't like that word in I don't really like it at all in makeup, to be honest. It conjures up memories of like the Charlotte Tilbury matte eyes to mesmerized. Not that they necessarily were whipped, but that's the picture I have. It's something that's kind of difficult to work with. The other thing it reminds me of is that hideous primer that people were using that was like a mousse for some reason. That's what that conjures up. I don't know if that's a good word to be using in makeup. It just always makes me think of whipped cream. It's going to be puffy and strange. So immediately red flag. Then we've got the old lip and cheek, which it's not, it's just cheek. It's not lip, it's just cheek. Stop lying. No one will like the feel of it on their lips. So please don't say that. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, I find. Now, what I will say, because we're doing the sandwich today, which I love to do, it makes me seem a lot more positive. The shade range here is great. I'll give them that. There's a lot of shades. There's quite nice variety. We've got berry, we've got a really nice red, we've got light and deeper shades, brighter, more subtle, some neutrals. So I do like what we've done with the color offering. These are just not going to be for me. A soft focus, blur, not really my type of finish. I found another good thing for the sandwich, okay? Smells like toasted marshmallow. No, I can't buy something for that, okay? I can just go and toast some marshmallows and smell that, okay? I don't need these. Next up, I don't have a question, I'm so sorry. Next up, we have a new skin tint coming from Armani, and I will tell you, spoiler alert, I've already purchased this. I was wildly guessing my shade. Let me tell you, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be even slightly in the ballpark of where I need it to be, but we're going to give it a go. I went with M2, I think, which looked like it would be a nice neutral olive undertone, but I will see. I will report back as soon as possible with, you know, the moving stuff. You know, we know Armani can do a decent base product. I'm not the hugest fan of Luminous Silk Foundation. I've always really wanted to love it as much as everybody else, but I just can't do it. It's just okay for me. But this packaging looks really beautiful. I like the description of this. It's described as lightweight, stretchable, features light catching golden hour pearls for a radiant, healthy look. You can immediately see why I bought this, can't you? Because that description, sign me up. Silk-like serum. Don't love the word serum in, you know, complexion products, but it's the one that I don't like in this whole description, so we'll let it go. It hydrates and plumps the skin, targets dullness while bringing luminosity over time. Light to medium coverage. I love, a brand has actually put, okay, hear this, buildable from light to medium. How hard was that? Why is buildable a description of an amount of coverage for so many brands? That means nothing. Buildable from what to what is what I want to know. And Armani got the memo, thank goodness. So this has 20 shades. You get what I was saying. This is a skin tint that has 20 shades. Carolina Herrera's foundation has 16. So we're in a much better ballpark here. We've got a nice component with a pump for a skin tint. That's what we like to see. I will report back on all of my thoughts. I was excited about this, the description. I'd like to see something great from Armani, given that they're a brand that's kind of fallen a little off the radar for a lot of us. So yeah, watch this space. Next up, let's address the elephant in the room. I'll give you a hint. Did you see it? Probably not. It was too subtle, wasn't it? Let's talk about these Danessa Myricks Colour Fix Sticks. Wowee a woo-wah is what I'm going to say to you. And I won't apologise for it. These first came onto my radar when I saw the Lipstick Lesbians swatching all of these and just raving about them. And anything that those women talk about in that way, count me in, okay? They for sure know what they're talking about. As you guys know, I've been desperate to try more from Danessa Myrix, but her brand in general is much too exciting for me, especially when it comes to eyeshadow. Too exciting. Her palettes, I know that I won't get the use out of them because they're just too exciting and pretty, okay? And I am like a dull, boring, basic, neutral kind of person, and I'm intimidated by a lot of the products that Danessa Myrix puts out. I fear I don't have the skill. I definitely don't have the excitement in my life. So when I saw these, I thought, finally, something that I feel like I can get a lot of use and wear out of and really enjoy from Danessa Myrix, because she undoubtedly has the magic dust when it comes to formulas and when it comes to finishes, and just when it comes to products in general. What she's putting out is incredible. It's just not products typically that would be something I would use very, very frequently, because they are, like I said, too exciting for me. So I saw these swatches and I was immediately all over them. Let me tell you, that's what I'm wearing on my eyeballs. I know I did the really subtle hint. There's no way you could have known that's what I was talking about, but I have already bought one of these. I bought shade 6. I was very confused going back and forth. I didn't know where to start. I just wanted to get one to see if I was being tricked, and these were actually not as unbelievable as they perhaps looked in the swatches I was seeing. Let me tell you, I gasped when I put this on this morning for the first time. There is something unbelievably special about these. These are insane. Probably, no, not probably. I think these are the most exciting launch of the year so far for me. Unbelievable. For a start, they are insanely easy to use. Anyone with hands could use these, okay? They are unbelievably easy to use. You literally just wipe, that sounds like the wrong word, but that's what I did, okay? I just swiped a little bit onto the lid. I barely blended it into the crease and then used the other end and just tapped it on. There was no fallout, no tugging. They feel very cooling, so that in itself was a delight and a treat for the eyeballs of a morning. I felt hydrated and cooled, and that's not a sensation I've known for about 6 weeks now and counting. They look stunning, like so much impact, but they are very flattering. I've had this on now for a good couple of hours. There's no creasing. There was zero fallout, no smudging. They feel like I have nothing on my lids. Very, very lightweight, given that I've put like 2, I guess, cream shadows, like layered them. Really, really light, really comfortable, really flattering, incredibly easy to use and unbelievably impactful. They are innovative. The packaging, the component is stunning. I've already ordered another one, okay? I love these, and I fear they aren't going to be in stock for a huge amount of time. So heed my warning. These are unbelievable, probably the release of the year so far. And I've already gone back for another one. They are so stunning, so special. You aren't going to be disappointed unless they have already started to sell out, because we know Danessa Marx is a smaller brand and I don't know how much stock they've got. I don't know how quickly these are able to be churned out, and I fear they will start disappearing quite quickly. So you have been warned. These are as incredible, in fact, more so than they look. Yes, they are expensive, but you do. They're gone, sadly. But back to the makeup. You do get 2 shades in one stick, and you literally use such a small amount. These are so impactful and so pigmented. I do believe these will last for a very, very long time. So I think they will be worth the money. They're just incredible. Count me in. I'm already in. I've got one on my lids right now, but count me in for more, please. Next up, we've got these explicit lipsticks from Nars. I'm not sure why everything has to be explicit from Nars. What's going on over there? Okay, you know, have a lie down and take a nap, because you need to calm down. This packaging is glorious. Capital G, all lowercase for the rest of the word. Glorious packaging. I love this. I feel like the shades are quite similar, but the 2 sort of warmer, like orangey shades, peachy nudes, right up my street. So Love Game, Scandal, too ready for me. Spice Up, Both of those, give me them right now. That packaging is stunning. I love Nars lipsticks. I think they're quite underrated, but the packaging with the little flower. Oh wait, there's more shades. I only saw the first 3. There are more shades. There's No Shame, which is a bright orange. What a dirty talk again. Why do we have to? I'm telling you, someone at Nars needs like a cold bucket of water stat. But yeah, I think my favourite shades are the ones I had already seen, the Love Game and Spice Up. Those, they look exactly the same, but they aren't, okay? And that's a hill I'm willing to die on. The others are all an easy pass, but that packaging, I'm living and breathing for it. Next up, we have the Stila All Day Inkware Liquid Eyeliners from Stila, and it's 1998, okay? And I'm popping into Boots and I'm getting at least 3 shades of these. I'll probably wear them all together at the same time and off to the Young Farmers Disco. I'm going. But the reality is that these, I do fear, should have stayed in the 90s. I feel like we've moved on from this type of product, or I have anyway. I think again, this is maybe something for like my daughter and her friends would absolutely live for, as did I in 1998. But I do fear we've moved. This feels like such an old-fashioned product now, and I don't necessarily know that it's something we needed to bring. You know, like sometimes they bring things back and you think, yes, they're back. What wasn't one of those was those big round belt with all the like the discs again that we loved in the 90s. I don't know why they came back, but there are certain things you think when it comes back, yes, like we're happy to see you again. It's your time to return. Buffaloes, I felt that way about those, okay? When they came back, that made me very, very happy to see them again, and I welcomed them with open arms. These, I fear, for me, they belong in 1998, and I don't see a place for them here in the future. Next up, let's talk about a couple of fragrances from my fragrance-loving friends. Creed have released a new fragrance, Fragaria. Is that how we're saying that? This is described as a floral fruity scent inspired by sun-kissed strawberry field. Delightful. Head notes, bergamot, timber pepper, pink pepper, mandarin. Heart notes, strawberry, orris butter, violet. Don't love that. Patchouli, fir balsam, pink praline, vetiver and cedarwood. There's an interesting little combo here. I don't think this is coming home with me, to be honest. The bottle is stunning. I almost want to buy this just for the bottle, but I'm past doing that, okay? I'm not doing that anymore. I've got too many bottles already, and let's all pray that they make it to the new house. I think this is going to be a no for me. I am kind of in the market at the moment for some fruity fragrances because it's summer and I don't have a lot of them. So I am kind of exploring some fruity fragrances, but there's several notes in here that are putting me off enough that I'm losing interest in it. And the other fragrance we're going to talk about in a moment is much more up my street and tickling my pickle a bit more than this one. So for me, it's the pepper. I don't love pepper in fragrances, especially not in a fruity floral. I don't know what it's doing there. And then violet is that's really one of my least favorite notes. So that is really putting me off. You've really got to love Creed fragrances because they are pricey little numbers. And I don't think this is going to be the one for me. But Xerjoff's Coro, however, give me it right now. I just know that I can really trust Xerjoff. I have so many of their fragrances. I love them all. Like I've never purchased a dud from Xerjoff. And yes, I do make sure that, you know, I read a lot about fragrances, I read reviews, and I know, you know, how to look for and how to tell whether I'm going to like something before I've smelled it or not. And I feel like Xerjoff is just very reliable as far as performance, as far as the quality of the fragrance. So if the notes look like I will like them, they're my cup of tea, I know I'm going to like it because you could just really rely on Xerjoff as a brand. These notes, tropical fruits in the opening, more fruit in the middle, mango, pineapple and some jasmine, and then the base being vanilla, amber, sandalwood, musk. I just know I'm going to love this. This is described as being a floral fruity with a gourmand edge, and that's exactly what I'm loving at the moment for summer. It's reminding me of a lot of the other fragrances that I've been loving wearing recently, that sort of fruity with a little hint of sweetness, not too floral, lovely bit of musk or vanilla in the dry down, just makes it a little bit more cozy, which is a vibe I really like in my fragrances, while keeping it a bit fresher with the fruity notes for the season. This looks stunning. I'm immediately getting this. I'm just waiting for this to come to a UK retailer, and then I'm going to be grabbing it with all my might. And finally, we have a new mini palette from Natasha Denona. This is the Mini Gloom palette. Really pretty. I was not expecting this one. I do know people always telling me that you can search Natasha Denona's trademark licenses. So you have to apply to trademark the name of makeup palettes, and Natasha Denona's are apparently very easy to find. And therefore we all know the names of the palettes that are coming this year or in the next sort of 6 to 12 months-ish. We can see what she has trademarked, what names for her palette she has trademarked. And so this one was sort of loitering around, but obviously because she hasn't ever had a Gloom palette before, we didn't know what the colour story would be. This, I'm kind of on the fence here because the formulas and the shades look really pretty, but I also do feel like we have a lot of this type of mini palette from Natasha. It reminds me very much of several other minis and midis colour story wise that she has done before, so it's not especially exciting because it's not especially different to other palettes we own. I feel like Yucca, a couple of the shades here look like they could have come from the Midi Glam palette. It also looks like it's got a bit of the gold palette. There's definitely a lot of sort of familiar shades in here. Apparently all 5 of these shades are new, as in they aren't existing repeat shades exactly, but they could be, to look at them, you know? So I would pick this up. I think it's really pretty and it's interesting enough for me to at least grab it for review purposes, but it's not available here yet. I've had some bad experiences ordering from Natasha Denona's website. I've had some good ones, but I've also had some bad ones where things haven't turned up for weeks. And by then it's available here and I could have got it the next day. So I don't order from her website anymore just because I need things quicker than they are sort of guaranteed to come from there. So I am waiting for this to come to Cult Beauty or one of the UK retailers, and if it comes quickly I will absolutely grab this. If it takes weeks then I'll probably have moved on with my life and forgotten it exists. So this one I'm kind of on the fence. My socks have not been knocked off, but I haven't yet seen it in use and have seen swatches. I don't think it's a wild must-have, especially if you have a lot of other Natasha Denona products or eyeshadows specifically, because I do think we've seen a lot of these sorts of shades in other palettes. But it's pretty and a little different as well, nonetheless, with a combo of shades. So I think it's quite versatile for a mini. What do you guys think? It's also a bit mini retro. You know, we've got greens and pink. What do you think? A poem. We love to see them, hear them, I guess. So let me just check that no one has announced something while I've been making this video, which literally happens every time I do a will I buy it, and then everyone says, why aren't you talking about that thing? Because they literally waited until I filmed it to tell us about it. Ooh, I know. So sorry I shouted at you. I know what I forgot to talk to you guys about. There are new shades of the YSL Make Me Blush blushes. I don't know what to think about these. I almost panic bought the mauve shade, the hot mauve. I don't know how to feel. There are 3 new shades. You know I love this formula, but I particularly love the Nocturnal Nude shade, which is kind of a unique shade from the range because they have shimmer finishes and matte finishes, and that one I think is it known as a matte or a shimmer, I don't know, but it's a satin, and they say they only have 2 formulas, but that formula, the finish of that specific shade, is neither shimmery nor matte, and it's different to the other formulas. So I don't know what to think about it, but that is my favorite from that collection. I love the packaging of this hot mauve shade, but it looks matte. I think this is a matte shade, and so I think, do I need a matte blush that's like a neutrally, slightly mauvey? No. If it was glowy or if it was a satin, different answer. but I think it's matte, and then I feel like it's too similar probably to other blushes I already have. And then we've got, obviously I'm not buying the magenta one, don't be ridiculous, but on this model that looks outrageously beautiful, but that's not how it will look on me. No thank you, we're moving on. And then the Chili Crush, which looks unbelievably daunting and terrifying in the pan, but on the models it looks stunning, and I feel like this formula, it is very forgiving and you can use it very lightly, and this one looks glowy, I think. So hard to tell. So that one is kind of, I've been like back and forth about it. I think at this moment I'm going to like force myself to look away because I don't need these. I don't think they're anything I don't already have. The mauve one is really fighting for my attention, but I don't know if it's too similar to Nocturnal Nude that I already own. What do you think? Have you seen these? These are currently only available, I think, where did I see them on? Maybe Origins, which is, I think, French. And so they, you know, it's expensive shipping and it takes a while to get here. So I'm kind of sitting on the fence waiting for these to come here to make my final decision on the hot mauve. But I don't think I need any of these. What do you think? So there you have it. Those are all of my thoughts on these new upcoming makeup releases. Is there anything tickling your pickle? Anything really exciting you? Anything that you are repulsed and appalled and shocked by in the makeup world, I mean? Otherwise we'll be here all day. But please let me know all of your thoughts on these products in the comment section down below. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.